Yeah, good morning. Back to the session. Today we are going to discuss regarding to the business process re-engineering. Before going to the content, let me explain you what is a business process and what is re-engineering. Business is any activity which is connected to earn a profit is called business. Business process is a combination of activities for involved in earning of the involved and made a product or a value for generating the profits is called the business process. So here we are having the re-engineering. Re-engineering is a systematic rethinking of the entire business activities and their processes for redesigning the new process and a new method of doing business. That is called business process re-engineering. Let me explain in detail what it is there into the business process re-engineering. Actually, the business process re-engineering concept first introduced by the Michael Hammer in 1990 in Harvard Business Review article and received increased attention on after the 5 years later. Hammer and James Champy published their best-selling book Reengineering the Corporation. The authors promoted the idea that some radical redesign and a reorganization of an enterprise is necessary. It means organizations has to redesign, organizations has to reorganize the entire organization structure for to lower the costs and increase the quality of services. To reduce the costs, to increase the quality of services, every organization has to rethink and redesign their business process that with the support of the information technology as a key enabler for a radical change. Actually, this is the orientation. It means the rethinking and redesigning of the entire business enterprise processes for reducing the costs and increasing the quality of the product or services is called business process reengineering. That is the objective, that is the orientation of the business process reengineering. Let me see that what is the definition for the business process and reengineering, that which already we saw. Business process is a collection of activities which together produces some value to the customer. Exactly. This is what no, we already told that it is a collection of activities combinedly produce some value to the customer, either it may be the product or service. Re-engineering is a fundamental rethinking and the radical redesign is called the re-engineering. Now, when we combine all these, both business process and re-engineering is the analysis and redesign of workflows. Analysis and redesign of workflows. Sir, here we are doing the two parts. First, we are analyzing the existing practice, and after that, we are redesigning the entire workflow within and between the enterprise, within the organization, between to the enterprises, in order to optimize end-to-end processes and automate non-value added tasks. So this is what exactly, that is the basic motto of business process re-engineering. We need to analyze the existing practices or the processes of the organization. We need to redesign according to the workflows, redesign the workflow and within the organization and as well as the outside the organization. And the basic basis for this is to optimize the end-to-end processes and to avoid to automate some sort of non-value added tasks in the organization. This is what exactly the definition for the business process engineering. So now we see that actually the Hammer and Chambe suggested 7 re-engineering principles. These 7 re-engineering principles supposed to be established into the organization for improvement of their quality, time management, speed and profitability. This will be done by implementing of the business process re-engineering process. But while designing the re-engineering process, we need to follow the 7 principles. One is we need to organize the outcomes and not tasks. Tasks are nothing but activities into the organization. We are not organize the tasks. We need to organize the end. What is the output that we are going to be getting, that to be organized. That is the first principle. Second is we need to identify all the processes in an organization and prioritize them in order to redesign the urgency. First, we need to identify all the tasks. Which a task is having higher importance is needed to redesign, that we need to think. That's what we made analysis. After that, we are redesigning. So analysis will be done at the second principle. Third step is, and the third principle is integrate the information processing work into the real work that produces the information. We need to integrate the information flow within the organization so that we are able to establish the appropriate connectivity between to the organizational entities to produce a good information for decision making. And the fourth principle is we need to treat the geographically disappeared resources, and though they were centralized. So we have the resources will be limited and they are restricted to the geographical level. So here, what we need to do, that we need to know that how they are centralized. I mean, the resources are centralized, and we need to decentralize them into the different aspects where it exactly required. So business re-engineering process will identify where the resources are centralized, where the resources are centralized there. We need to identify, and these resources to be disaggregated to the different competing ends in the organization. That first principle is we need to link the parallel activities within the workflow instead of just integrating the results. We need to activity flows are we need to parallel the activities. Parallel the activities in the workflow means not only just integrating. No, there are different organizational activities are there. Between the organizational activity, not only connecting, we need to have a free flow also, workflow also to be described. That is called organization structure has to be designed based upon this. And sixth principle is we need to put the decision point where the work is performed and build the control into the process. Sorry, very clearly it is indicating that we need to put a point where the work will be performed. A decision point is also to be there with the work at the work point itself, because then we are able to control that particular point, and automatically the entire work performance will be controlled. That is the redesigning principle. The last principle is capture the information once and all the sources. Now we need to capture the information once at the source. From all the sources, we need to get the information once. Then we are not supposed to ask the same information and again. That because a lot of duplications can be done. To avoid that redesign process, we need to capture the information only once and from the different sources where it is exactly supposed to come. So these 7 principles to be followed while we are going to be designing the business process re-engineering process. And here we have certain benefits of re-engineering. We can estimate, we can eliminate all the wastages, and we can implement quality process. Inefficient process can be avoided, and a significant reduction into the cost and time, and revolutionary improvement in many business processes are measured quality and customer service, and increase the competencies of both top level and lower level companions, because it is clearly, workflows are very clearly described, so that there will be then automation into the work process. Now coming to the point of business re-engineering process, these are the 5 steps which is described the business re-engineering process to achieve a dramatic improvement into the performance, productivity, and the quality of an organization. So first we need to prepare BPR. First we need to prepare for BPR. Means we need to prepare the premises for the BPR. We need to identify the customer. We need to identify the cross-functional department. We need to develop appropriate strategic purpose. We need to develop the strategic purpose why we are doing the goal of re-engineering process, that called premises will be prepared for the BPR. Second step is we need to analyze it. That's what already we told. First we need to analyze, and after that redesign will be done. At the second step, we need to analyze the process by create activity models, and we need to make an stimulate and perform ABC analysis. We need to identify discontinuous and value adding processes. So here perform ABC means that called we are going to be prioritizing the works. A category works, B category works, C category work. Based upon the ranking, we can do this. And after that, we need to design the process. We need to design to be the process, how it is supposed to be in future, that process to be prepared. For that, we need to prepare certain standards that called benchmark process will be done. And we need to design the process and validate the process and perform the trade-off analysis. What we do that we implement into the test area, and we identify that the feasibility of execution of this particular redesign process. And after that, we need to implement and re-engineer the process into the organization. We need to while implementing, we will evolve the implementation plan in the organization. we will prepare a prototype for the stimulation plans, and we initiate the certain sort of training program to the people, and finally we will implement the plan, the transaction plan in the different organizational levels or for the different organizational processes. After this, once we implement it, then we see that called evaluation will be done for that, for the improvement. So we improve the continuity. To improve the continuity, we need to that called instigate ongoing measurement. Review of performance will be against to the target, and we improve the process continuously. So I mean to say that once we implemented, we finally evolve the process, and we see that whether the results are attaining or not. If we are attaining, it will be continued, and if there is any setbacks, that we will make improve, and the improved version again, improved version will continuously practice into the organization. So this is what business process reengineering. Thank you. We'll see into the next session.